Hey everybody, it's Julie with Reflections Framing and Stitching. I just wanted to pop in real quickly before the real video just to let you know that this video you will be seeing was recorded about a month ago. I apologize for the delay in posting it. As you will find out in that video, I did have to put Rags to sleep right before market, and I have been focusing on keeping myself busy ever since then, so I did not get around to editing the video until today, and quite frankly I don't know what kind of job I'll be doing on that because my skills are rusty. They are really rusty. I couldn't even remember how to use the video, the camera thing, so we're gonna see how that comes out. But I am going to leave off the part about the antique haul and where I have placed things and do a separate video for that, just because this one's going to be too long, I think, if I do that. So in today's video, you'll see an update on stitching. I'll talk about market a little bit. And that may be it. Honestly, I can't remember what I said in that video, so could be kind of dull and boring, but I will post the rest of the video before we head to retreat next week. We do leave on Thursday for retreat. The shop will be closed while I'm gone, so the shop will be closed. I'm always closed on Thursdays now. It'll be closed on Friday and Saturday. Be back in the shop on Tuesday. So, well, that's a big bug. It's a warmer day today and the bugs are coming out. I had to knock down a wasp nest again. Dan got rid of it yesterday and today it was back, so I had to knock that down. Anyway, let's go on with the video. Hey everybody, it's Julie with Reflections Framing and Stitching. Today is a day. It is a Thursday. I'm not going to give a date because I don't know when you'll see this. It'll be sometime after market, but I can't guarantee at what point you will see it. It's a very windy, well, it has turned into a very windy, blustery day out there. It was really nice this morning when I was going to doctor appointments and that sort of thing. I've got a little bit of stitching to show you. And then I have some antiques that I'll show you. I'm going to talk a little bit about market and whatever else happens to pop into my brain. So let's start with market. We had a great time. It was a very good market season for us. I was able to bring back, I think, everything but one item for people, which is amazing, I will say. And we had a great trip out. We stopped and did some antiquing, which I'll talk about later. We got to go to Steak and Shake. Their shakes just aren't the same anymore. They're good, but they're just, I miss my salted caramel pretzel shake. But the burgers are good. The fries are good, so it's worth the stop. Let's see, the hotel was having construction, remodeling going on in the lobby and breakfast area. So we got to eat breakfast in the ballroom, which I kind of liked because it was much more spacious and roomy. So that was good. It didn't really affect us any. The elevators were still going up and down like they're supposed to, so that's a good thing. Our room was recently remodeled. Very recently remodeled, I would say, because I got up and took my shower the first morning, And I noticed that the handle was a little wonky, and I'm thinking, well, you know, maybe that's how they're doing handles these days. I don't know. So I turned it on. It worked fine turning it on. Took my shower, reach out to turn it off. I get it all the way to where it's cold, you know. You're turning it off fast because you don't want to be blasted with cold water. And I get it turned off to the, well, turned to the cold water, and the thing comes off in my hand, and I do get blasted with cold water, which is when I said the word shit in a very loud voice and tried to get the handle back on, praying that, you know, well, in my mind, I'm going through all the scenarios. Well, what if I can't get this shut off? How is Rosie going to take her shower? Is maintenance even in the building? What if this water has to run all day? You know, just all these crazy things that go through. I did get the handle back on and got it turned off, and I warned Rosie before she went in there that the handle was not being held on by anything. So she managed to do just fine with her shower, and I called down to the desk, and maintenance came up, and they got that. He got that fixed for us. And then as he was leaving, the brass plate that is around the handle to open and close the door came off. And the guy said he would just go ahead and fix it while he was there. So he's trying to screw in he found the screw on the floor, and he was trying to screw that in, and it wasn't working very well for him. So he told us he was going to upgrade us to a larger screw. Now, if Connie had been there, a comment would have been made. But luckily, Connie was not there, and the four of us, because by this time all four of us were in the room, it ran through our head the comment that Connie would have made, but none of us actually opened up our mouth and said it. So that was the one mishap that we had, was the blast of cold water, and I survived that. I was just very alert that morning. What else can I say? The market itself was good. I stayed on my feet this whole time this year. I did not stand in any lines. That was the one thing I said I was not going to do this year, was to stand in line for anybody. That's what did my ankles in last year, and I wasn't going to do it this year because I missed being able to see all the models and to go in and at least say hi to the designers, and running into other shop owners and chatting with them. So I was able to stay on my own 2 feet the entire time, which was very good, and ran into some lovely people. I had a good conversation with Jamie and Terry from Cornhusker State Stitchers, and talked to a little gal at the retailers meeting she's got an online shop. I don't remember. I'm lousy with names, so I don't remember her name. But I talked to her a little bit about, she's looking for a storefront. So I talked to her a little bit about that. And had a wonderful experience after the retailers meeting. I was talking to the gal next to me, and I could see someone came up and was standing there. So I look up, and I didn't recognize the person at all, but I asked her, said, "Hi, can I help you with something?" And she watches my floss tube and is apparently my biggest fan. Watches all my videos. So, hello, you know who you are. I don't have permission to use your name, but you know who you are. She was not from the U.S., which I didn't know anyone from outside the U.S. watched me, so. But I was very touched by her comments, and I just want to say hi. And I was sad that we didn't run into each other again the rest of the weekend, because I would have liked to have chatted with you some more. So maybe next year if you're there. What else? Oh, the retailers meeting was being filmed for a documentary that's being made about I'm not sure if it's the needlework industry as a whole or counted cross-stitch industry as a whole. I'm not sure on the particulars of that, but they were there recording. I wish they had, at the beginning, they always say the topics they'd like to get to, and I wish they had gotten to the topic about minimums, because that was mentioned, but we never did get to that point. I did think there were fewer minimums this year than last year. I know that I screwed up. I had emailed a particular designer, not going to use their name, but I had emailed them to see what their minimum was for market, and the minimum order was 5 charts. I only had a pre-order for 1. I know that if I bought 5 charts, they were just going to sit there, and I'd end up, because it's just not, at this time, it's not what my customers are buying. And I'm not willing to speculate on that and just buy something to see if it would sell. So I meant to take it off of my shopping list. It didn't get removed from the shopping list, and when Lori went in to pick it up, the designer said, that she had told me the minimum was 5. And Lori said, oh, okay, well, I'll just let her know. And the designer graciously, very graciously, said that she would go ahead and sell me the 1 chart. So thank you. I appreciate you doing that. My customer was very happy to get the chart. So I appreciate it. I had a great conversation with Ghost Boy. Again, his aesthetic is not exactly what is selling in my shop at this time. But as I explained to him, he does not have a minimum, and I only needed 1 chart. But as I explained to him, the same was true of Lola Crow at one time. Nobody was stitching Lola Crow in my shop. And then one person brought in a Lola Crow chart and was stitching on it, and another person got interested in it, and then another person got interested, and another person got interested, and before you know it, we're doing a stitch along of Lola Crow. And I was explaining this to him, and I said, so please don't be offended that I'm only have this one. This particular person that wanted this design is probably going to bring it and stitch on it at stitching, and other people are going to see it and think it's cute, and then they're going to want it, and that's how it gets started. It does not get started in my shop by forcing me to buy 5 of your charts. So thank you again for letting me have the one. I do appreciate it greatly, but I still stand my ground on minimums. I don't like them. Buttermilk Basin was there for the first time, and I went in there, and they had some very cute designs. But again, I haven't had them in the shop before. I don't know if there's something that is going to sell. And so I only wanted to get a couple, and they informed me that their minimum was 3 of each thing. Not 3 items, but 3 of each thing. And so I left. I did not buy any because, again, I don't know that it would sell, and I'm trying to be very careful. And I was very successful at being very careful. So that it just, her words were, she has to make it worth her time. And, we all know how I feel about that. We all know if I told you you had to buy three skeins of floss, you couldn't buy just one, that you'd turn around and go buy it somewhere else. So that's how I feel about that, and that's all I'm going to say on that. Who else did I run into and have a conversation with? Talked with Steph a bit. I talked with my friend Linda from Stitcher's Garden in Arkansas, and Shannon was there again this year. Shannon works for Linda off and on, and it was good to see Shannon, and of course Karen was there too, and good to see her. So we had breakfast together every morning that we were there, which was fun. And let's see, is there anything else that stands out? I did not have a moment with any design this year. There were a lot of pretty things, just nothing, again, well, not again, I haven't mentioned this, but I had to put Rags to sleep a few days before we left for market. So my mood was not the best. So I think that kind of colored my market experience. Sorry, it's still really hard to talk about. Anyway, but we had a good time. We you know, brought back a lot of good things. There's still lots of goodies to be seen at the shop. If you're in the area, stop in and check them out. And, you know, always happy to kit something up for you. So that was pretty much market. We got home about 10 o'clock Monday night. We were back at the shop by 10, I think, Tuesday, and unloading and sorting through, and I shipped out the last market pre-order last week. I have just a few local people who are planning to pick up on Saturday, and then we're done. So I would call that a very successful market this year. Very successful. I want to thank all of you for your orders. I want to thank you for paying promptly. I appreciate it. Picking up promptly is very appreciated. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for trusting me with your orders. And hopefully everything was, you know, you received it in good condition, and it was exactly what you wanted, and I can't wait to see what you all are going to start first. So I think that's all I have to say about market. You might have, if you see the Facebook page, you might have seen my embarrassing post from yesterday. It was finally quiet enough in the shop that I could take a breather, take a deep breath, look at my counter and see the mess that has accumulated in the last 6 weeks and get it all cleaned off. That was, I felt so good afterwards that it was all nice and clean. I'm going to start going through drawers next because, you know, we've been there over 3 years now, and the drawers get messy. I don't know about your drawers, but my drawers get messy if I don't clean them up. So I need to sort through those drawers and tidy them up, and you just always feel better when things are nice and neat and tidy and in their place. So I'm going to work on that. And let's see. Retreat. I have several projects I need to do for retreat to get ready. We've got 4 new people coming this year, which I'm excited about. So I got to make name tags. Well, Melanie is going to help me make the name tags. I sent her the file. She'll do all the cutting and gluing, and then I'll do the, what's the word I'm looking for, where you put it between the 2 plastic pieces, lamination. I'll do the lamination on them, and they'll be good to go. So there are still some things that need to be done, but I think we've got a good handle on it, and we'll be ready when the time comes, I hope. What else can I tell you about the shop? Or had quite a few new people coming in lately, which is exciting. Some younger people, which is very exciting. Some people coming back to the craft after many years away. I have invited them all to the open stitching, so I'm hoping some of them will show up at some point. And yeah, I think that's all the shop news for today. I didn't stop and think about. Again, my mood has not been the greatest, and so I've been putting off making a video and putting off making a video, and I just decided that I just had to sit down and do it, and without really making an outline of what I was going to talk about, or, you know. So it's a little disjointed, and I apologize for that, but this is called life, and this is how it is for me right now. I think I will show you my stitching progress, such as it is. I did start something in the car on the way to Nashville. Haven't touched it since that day, but I will show that to you. I have been working almost exclusively on Teresa Kogut's Land That I Love, which I'm probably renaming now to With Liberty and Justice. I don't know. I think I'm going to ask your opinion on something and see what you think. So I guess we'll start with that one since we're talking about it. So as you know, I'm going to show you the chart. So as you know, I removed the strawberry band right here, right there, of the thing, because I didn't really care for it. And I did some tweaks on the colors because my fabric is blue and grungy, and some of the called for colors didn't really show up. So I did a little something, and making it my own. And one of the other things that I was struggling with was how busy it looked down here under the houses. It just looked too busy for me. So I decided what I would do was remove where it says Land That I Love, and remove this band right under the houses, and move things up a little bit so that I could fit some words down here instead. And I decided that I wanted With Liberty and Justice for All. So I have that charted out for that space, and I've got it started. But I just wanted to ask if you thought, I don't want to say if you think it's okay, because obviously it's okay. I can change whatever I want because it's my piece, and you can do the same. But do you think With Liberty and Justice for All is appropriate for this piece, or should I switch it back and just do Land That I Love down here instead? So I'm going to show you what I've got done, and you can weigh in on it. I just really like With Liberty and Justice for All, but then I was looking at it and I'm like, well, does this look like a piece that would say With Liberty and Justice for All? Or does this look more like a piece that would say Land That I Love? I think it's okay. I always second guess myself, so if you guys want to weigh in on my insanity, I'd appreciate it. Let's see. I'll show you what I've done. Let's first, and then I can show the whole thing. So I brought this side. I've got the brown part of the border, right here. I stitched that and I brought it all the way around, and it met up in the corner perfectly, I might add. So if you heard a big round of applause or felt the earth move under your feet on Monday night, that's why, because the corners met up and I was sweating buckets about it. On this side, I brought the flowers part of the border down and did the corner, and then I've started my words. This is the word with. I worked a little bit more. The house is predominantly done, with the exception of the foundation, which I have part of done down here. And that, I went back up and filled in like the flower centers and his eye, and just some little things that had gotten skipped over. So that's what I've been working on the most. And this is the whole piece so far. And I really like it, but now I'm second guessing myself on the words. So if you want to tell me, Julie, it's fine, it'll be fine, it's just fine, then you can. If you don't want to weigh in, that's fine too. But I would like your opinion. The last video, I showed you this piece and told you that I couldn't do that pink. I had it all done around the Mary, and I just couldn't. So I told you I was going to rip it out, and I did. And that's as far as I've gotten. I ripped it out, and I haven't put it back in yet. So that, not much done on that. But I did get it ripped out before I put it away. So I can go back to that at a later date. I did also locate a chart of mine that had been missing for at least a year. Where did I find it? Oh, I found it inside another bag with another project that had been up in my room, and I brought it down, the project bag downstairs, and then it just kind of felt like the bag felt like it was fuller than it should be. So I unzipped it and looked inside, and that's when I found it. This is, and I don't think I have. I've got it on my iPad, but I don't think I have a picture of it. So, let me see though. That's the one bad thing about putting it all on my iPad, is then I tend to, put the pattern somewhere safe, which always ends up being someplace that I have no memory of. Okay, I found it. So this is the 1 nickel needles from Shakespeare's Peddler. And it had been missing for quite some time. But I found it. And I was working on part of it. So this is where I'm at. And I put in all this green down here. And I started this over here. And then the more I got to looking at it, the more I can't stand that pink and yellow that's in here. And I think I'm going to have to rip that out and change the color. I know. You're going to say, oh, but Julie, it looks fine. And I don't know. The pink and the blue together, I just don't think I can do it. I don't know what I'll change it to, though. So you'll have to stay tuned for that. But I did get the greenery done, so yay me. And that's it, guys. That's the total and complete sum of what I have been working on. I really have been hitting the land that I love / liberty and justice pretty hard. Because I want to, remember my goal, July. So I'm making progress, but sometimes it feels like I'm spinning my wheels. And what else do I have to tell you? You'll have to stay tuned for an antique haul. And then after the antique haul, I'll show you where I have placed some of the items that I have placed. Some of them I'm still pondering what I want to do with them. But for the most part, they are where they're supposed to be, I think. And otherwise, that's going to be it, I think. I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you enjoyed all the market previews and have received whatever you ordered from whoever you ordered it from and are happily kitting up new starts. We're going to do 4 new starts at retreat. And I think I'm going to start Worthy Patriot. And I'm going to start the coverlet, patriotic coverlet from Summer House, the one that's Live. I think it's Live. Is it Live? Life? Life, maybe. I'm going to start that one. And I don't know what the other 2 new starts will be. I'm still pondering. I got a month. I'm good. And I haven't started thinking about what my whips will be. But again, I have a month. So I'm kind of ahead of the game knowing that the two of the 4 that I'm going to start. Rosie and I think, are starting both of those that weekend. So we'll have maybe a start along for those 2 days. I think that's it. Dan and I are not currently, we're still working on the basement, so we're not currently doing any house projects, but there are some outdoor things that need to be taken care of. Our fence is seeing its better days, and with the winds we've had, it keeps blowing down. So we're gonna have to fix the fence this year. I was hoping to get a cover and screening on the deck, but I think that's going to have to wait yet another year. Because we do need a new air conditioner, I think. They're coming out Monday. Monday? Or Tuesday? Monday. They're coming out Monday afternoon. And will let me know whether I need a new one or it just needs repaired. So, yikes. Well, that's about it. I will see you in the next one. You take care until then. Bye.